General Motors founder William C. Durant was famous for saying, "A car for every purse and every purpose." With that philosophy, the company he founded has become one of the largest automobile corporations in the world. And today, we're going to take a dive into the history of GM and see what we can find out on today's 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. Everybody likes weird things, and I am no different. Now, if you have a suggestion for a new video, a critique of one I already did, or rarest of all things, some praise for me, be sure to sound off in the comments below. Okay? Here we go. First, the stuff everybody knows. General Motors was founded on September 16, 1908 in Flint, Michigan, United States of America. William C. Durant and Charles Stewart Mott played key roles in the founding of General Motors. The headquarters of General Motors is in Detroit, Michigan, U.S. Mary T. Barra was made CEO of General Motors in 2014 during a restructuring and did the job so well that she was voted chairman of the board of GM in 2016. In addition to the CEO, due to the vast international reach and collection of companies under the General Motors banner, GM has a leadership team consisting of executives responsible for various aspects of the company's operations, finance, technology, manufacturing. GM is a global company with operations in North America, Europe, Asia, and other regions. It has manufacturing facilities, research and design facilities, and significant market presence worldwide. Now, with that out of the way, weird thing number 5, the Chevrolet Nova myth. Now, there's a popular urban legend that the Chevy Nova sold really poorly in Spanish-speaking markets because Nova in Spanish translates to "it doesn't go." However, this is a myth, as the Nova sold reasonably well in Spanish-speaking countries. The story is often used in business classes to illustrate the importance of cultural understanding in marketing, except if you know the history of it, it actually flies in the face of it. Weird thing number 4, the Pontiac Aztec. The Pontiac Aztec is a mid-size crossover SUV that was produced by General Motors under its Pontiac brand. It was introduced in 2000 and it ended in 2005. The Aztec was designed to be a sporty and versatile vehicle. However, it gained notoriety for its unconventional and polarizing design. Many critics and consumers found its appearance to be pretty unattractive, and it became a symbol of failed automotive design. Now, while the Aztec's design was widely criticized, it has gained a sort of cult status in popular culture, and it's sometimes remembered for its unique place in automotive history. Weird thing number 3, General Motors is many car companies in one. Now, currently they have the following brands: Chevrolet, which Chevy is one of GM's flagship brands, offering a diverse range of vehicles, including cars, SUVs, and trucks. GMC focuses on trucks and SUVs, often positioned as a more premium offerings compared to Chevrolet. Buick is positioned as a premium brand with a focus on comfort and luxury cars and SUVs. Cadillac is one of GM's luxury brands, offering a range of premium cars and SUVs. Last but not least, Chevrolet Performance Vehicles. Chevrolet has a line of high-performance vehicles under the Chevrolet Performance category, including the Camaro and Corvette. As for the brands that they once had but don't have anymore, since 1908, GM has had 43 automotive companies under its umbrella. I'd go through them right now, but I didn't find that weird. I just found that to be a lot. Weird thing number 2, ignition switch recall. Now, the ignition switch recall crisis emerged in the early 2010s and involved faulty ignition switches in certain GM vehicles. The defect could cause the switch to move out of the run position, resulting in a loss of power and deactivation of safety features such as airbags. The defect was linked to accidents and fatalities. Now, the issue with the ignition switches was first identified by GM in the early 2000s, but became publicly known in 2014 when the company initiated a massive recall. The recall affected millions of vehicles, and it was one of the largest automotive recalls in history. The defect was linked to multiple accidents and fatalities. The delay in addressing the issue raised questions about the safety culture within the GM Corporation. Now, GM faced legal and regulatory consequences, including investigations by government authorities. The company agreed to pay fines and settlements related to the recall. The crisis shed light on management and cultural issues within GM, including concerns about communication, transparency, and the handling of safety-related matters. Now, as a result of the crisis, there were changes in the leadership at GM. Mary Barra, who I mentioned earlier, became the CEO of the company in 2014, and she played a key role in addressing the fallout from the recall. Weird thing number 1. GM made the first electric car. Now, with all the automotive manufacturers diving into electric vehicles these days, it is worth noting that a General Motors brand made the first electric vehicle, and they did it over 100 years ago. The Detroit Electric Car Company was one of the earliest manufacturers of electric cars in the United States. Detroit Electric was founded in 1907, and it had its roots in the Anderson Electric Car Company, which was established in 1902. Detroit Electric gained prominence during the early 20th century when electric cars were in competition with internal combustion engine vehicles and steam-powered cars. Detroit Electric cars were known for their distinctive and elegant designs. They were luxury vehicles, and many models featured stylish and ornate bodywork. The bodies were often constructed by custom coach builders. Like other electric cars of the time, Detroit Electric cars were powered by lead-acid batteries. These batteries provided power to an electric motor, which in turn drove the vehicle. Detroit Electric cars were popular among the affluent and well-to-do individuals, including notable figures such as Thomas Edison and Clara Ford, who was the wife of Henry Ford. Gotta wonder how that went down at the Ford house. She's driving a competitor's car. Now, the range of early Detroit Electric cars was limited compared to modern electric vehicles. Charging was done by plugging the vehicle into a power source, and charging infrastructure was not as developed as it was today. Now, Detroit Electric cars were produced from the early 1900s through the 1930s. The company continued to manufacture electric vehicles during a time when the popularity of gasoline-powered cars was increasing day by day. In the 2000s, there was an attempt to revive the Detroit Electric brand. The revived company, Detroit Electric Holdings Limited, announced plans to produce electric vehicles, including sports cars. However, production faced challenges and the company's plans evolved over time. The Detroit Electric Car Company holds historical significance as one of the pioneering electric vehicle manufacturers in the early automotive era. And while the original Detroit Electric Car Company ceased production decades and decades ago, the name and legacy were revived in the 21st century. It is worth noting the electric vehicle landscape has seen a resurgence of interest, with various companies developing and producing electric cars in the modern era. Well, that's it, and I hope you liked today's episode, and let me know what you liked, didn't like, or need to correct. Let me know in the comments below. I'm also open to suggestions about future videos. Take care and have a great night.